Hello again, friends. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that tattling that we talked about when I read the book, Don't Squeal Unless It's a Big Deal. So I have some questions. First, we're going to do some true or false. So true is thumbs up, and true means it's right, or false, thumbs down, which is not right. So that's what you're going to do when I give these next couple sentences, okay? Is it true or is it false? All right. Number one, tattling and telling or getting help are the same things. Tattling and telling or getting help are the same thing. True or false? All right. The answer for that one is actually false. So tattling is when you are telling to get attention or to get your own way or to get someone into trouble. Tattling is when it's those kid-sized problems. Telling or getting help is when it's the bigger size problems. There's an emergency or there is something really, really important that you need help with. Somebody's in danger, somebody's hurting somebody or something. So those are the times where you go get help. So tattling and telling or getting help is not the same. So that was a false. All right, number two, if someone is bullying you, you should tell a grown-up. True or false? Okay, that answer is true, especially if you've tried to get them to stop. If you've asked somebody to stop being mean to you or asked somebody to let you play and they keep saying no, and you've tried several different tries to get them to be respectful to you and it doesn't work, then that's bullying and you need to get help. That is not tattling. So the answer is true for that one. So if someone is bullying you, you should tell a grown-up. True. Number three, if you tell a teacher that someone is playing with matches, you are tattling. What do you think? True or false? If you tell the teacher that someone is playing with matches, you are tattling. Okay, the answer to that one is false. You are not tattling if someone is playing with matches because that could be dangerous. So you're going to get help. That is telling or getting help, not tattling. Number four, real friends never tell on each other. So real friends never tell on each other. True or false? What do you think? The answer to that is false. Even if it's your bestest friend in the whole wide world, if they are doing something that could cause them to get in trouble or cause them to get hurt or cause damage to something, that is, you still have to go get help for that because your friend's not making a very good choice. So friends do sometimes have to tell on each other, especially if it's something that could harm them or get them hurt. So that answer was false because friends sometimes have to tell on each other when it's serious. And the last true or false question we have is, some kids tattle because they want to get attention. True or false? Some kids tattle because they want to get attention. That answer is true. Unfortunately, sometimes we have some friends who tattle because they want to get attention from the teacher, they want to get their own way, or they want someone to get into trouble for something. Now, do you think our friends who are tattling just to get attention or to get their own way or to get somebody else in trouble, are our friends going to be happy with that friend? Mm-mm. So that's not how we treat our friends. So we shouldn't just tattle on our friends just to get our way or to get attention. All right, now I have a couple questions. Let's see if you can figure out if this situation is tattling or if it's telling or getting help. So the rule at the sandbox is no throwing sand. One day, Gina threw sand. She stopped after Sam reminded her of the rule. Then Sam told the teacher that Gina had been throwing sand. All right, let's think about that. So, is Sam tattling or is he telling? So, tattling, telling. This one's tricky. All right, so this situation, Sam is actually tattling because Gina stopped throwing sand after Sam reminded her of the rule. So there was no reason to tell the teacher because Gina wasn't doing it anymore. Now, what about this situation? The rule at the sandbox is no throwing sand. One day, Gina threw sand. She didn't listen when Sam reminded her of the rule. She threw more sand at Sam and it went in his eyes. Sam told the teacher. So is that tattling or telling? Okay, that one is telling or getting help because Sam needed to get help from the teacher because Gina wouldn't stop throwing sand and it got in his eyes. So that was dangerous. So see how it changed a little? At first, Gina did the same thing. She threw the sand, but the first time she stopped when Sam reminded her of the rule. The second time, she did not stop and it got into his eyes. So that was a dangerous situation. Number 2, Allison had a new sweater with buttons shaped like hearts. Janine told Allison, "Your sweater is ugly." Allison told the teacher what Janine said. All right, so is Allison tattling or is she telling to get help? Okay, so Allison is actually tattling because, yes, what Janine said wasn't very nice, but Allison could have used her words to tell Janine that she didn't like that and that that was mean or that that hurt her feelings. So that was a small kid-sized problem that Janine and Allison could have dealt with together. Now, what about this situation? Allison had a new sweater with buttons shaped like hearts. Janine yanked a button off the sweater. Allison told the teacher what Janine did. So, is Allison tattling or telling to get help? That time, Allison was telling to get help because Janine ruined her sweater, and that is not an okay thing. So she was telling to get help. All right, the last situation. Maya's brother Jake was in charge of watching Maya while their parents were out. He couldn't play with her, and Maya was bored. When her parents came home, she told them what Jake had done. So is Maya tattling or is she telling to get help? Okay, so Maya was actually tattling on her brother for not playing with her. He didn't do anything wrong. She was just bored and she wanted to get him into trouble. So that was tattling. What about this situation? Maya's brother Jake was in charge of watching Maya while their parents were out. He decided to sneak out of the house and he left Maya alone in the house. When her parents came home, she told them what Jake had done. Now, is that tattling or is that telling to get help? Okay, it was telling to get help because, first of all, Jake probably didn't ask his parents to leave the house. He snuck out of the house, so that could be a dangerous situation. And he also left Maya all alone by herself, which could have been a dangerous situation. So she was telling to get help. And sometimes we have to tell to get help, even if our brother or sister or friends get upset with us for telling. If you're getting help, it's necessary. Okie dokie pokies, I hope you had fun with trying to figure out if it was tattling or if it was telling to get help. I hope you all have a great day.